Today, we're joined by remote appointment setter, ex-carpenter, Dan Smith-Williams.
I was driving 3 hours a day in the dark on the tools all day. I got this feeling that I was sort of meant for something else. Came into sales and look forward a year. We're here. I started with no experience, pretty shy. And then, of course, when you talk and learn with more confidence, your life does snowball in that way, and it really does leach into other areas of your life.
Where do you feel that this could take you, say, in the next 5 years? What are your goals?
Build wealth, that's one thing, but just have as much time to myself and my family as I can. You know, as I start a family, when I get older, I want to be there for your kids at the drop of a hat. You make the decision and you go 100%, you're going to see success, you're going to see results, and that fear, you will look back on it and just obviously go, why was I doing that?
Welcome to the Remote Sales Podcast, the podcast to help you crush a career in remote, high-ticket sales. I'm Kris, Cochrane, co-founder of Remote Sales Institute, and today we're joined by remote appointment setter, ex-carpenter, Dan Smith-Williams, coming from the beautiful Sunshine Coast. How are you, Dan?
I'm amazing, thank you, Kris. It's good to be here, and it is quite sunny today, so it's living up to the name. Hasn't been quite that sunny, though, recently.
It's been terrible here in Queensland. It's been the worst summer, but we're gearing up for a decent winter now, mate. But you've had a journey, and you went from 3-hour daily commutes. You are now working from home. How did we get here? Well,
it actually, funny you say, it's probably about the 1 year anniversary, I would say, of sort of jumping in this space, and things have completely flipped from what I was doing before. Of course, being a tradie, now working from home, it's a completely different lifestyle. So, yeah, it's hard to think of what I was doing back then. I was driving 3 hours a day, hour and a half there, hour and a half back in the dark, and of course, just being on the tools all day. Did love it. Sort of, got this feeling that I was sort of meant for something else, something a little bit more, and started looking around and came into sales and look forward a year. We're here, but I'm sure we'll dive a little bit deeper into between now and back then as well.
Well, happy anniversary, the 1 year anniversary in remote sales. Now, let's talk about the zero sales experience. It's a ballsy move to get into something that you have no experience in from being a carpenter. What drove you to look into this as a different avenue than what you were doing?
Yeah, I think for me, like, I've always sort of been a people person. I would say myself to a degree. I think I have always just liked connecting. And when I was doing carpentry, the best part of it was, having that initial confrontation with a client or, someone we're doing the job for, and then the end seeing their smile on the face when you provide a quality product and service. So I think always loved that aspect, and I'm always communicating with people and friends, family, and a lot of my family is in real estate as well. So maybe sales is in my genes, but I had zero knowledge of it all. I just wanted to have a crack at it and try something else. And yeah, really glad I did.
What else wasn't working? I'm just curious about the challenges that were going on with your trade. We hear it a lot with people who are in trades, looking to exit, getting to earning an online income. So it sounds as though you were commuting a lot. What else wasn't kind of vibing with you that made you want to get out of that career?
Yeah, definitely being stuck to the travel is one thing, but being stuck to on site. I think nowadays having that flexibility to be able to work from home or really anywhere, of course, where you have an internet connection and you can be able to be valuable. That was a big thing for me, but also just the mental and manual side of it. I sort of felt a little bit capped, maybe a little bit of a dead end, unless you did jump into that building side of things, which I was studying as well. And again, it just didn't really align with who I thought I was, and deep down I knew that I can keep doing it, but is it really for me? And I just got to a point where it sort of wasn't, and then that's what played on my mind and was the biggest challenge.
What fears did you have about getting into this before you jumped in and took that leap? Because I'm sure you explored other ways to make money online and get out of your trade. when you were looking at this career, remote sales, closing setting, what fears came up? What were some of your objections before you moved through?
Mate, so much. Like, can I do it? How do I do it? What even is this to begin with? But you do some research, you see, and then once you start searching, you're getting bombarded with people that are so-called experts in this space, and then you do start to learn about it. But in terms of fears, it was really a lot of self-doubt. Like, is this for me? Can I do that? Am I the right person for this? And then once you start to dive a bit deeper and actually learn, you quickly get rid of those fears and know that you're on the right track.
And so you jumped into our training program, the Remote Sales Institute, which was, probably 12 months ago now. So I can't believe it's been 12 months. It's gone like that.
It's gone pretty fast.
It's gone quick. And I know that coming in with no experience, you were very committed to learning the skills and the strategies of closing, probably more so than many. You took an approach which was just, you're going to get to every session and you're going to do whatever it takes to get that result. Can you talk us through the training experience?
Yeah, it was awesome. I definitely went in with a mindset of giving 100% because I know that that's what you get. What you give, what you get, and you get what you give, of course. So I gave 100% and it definitely returned in my favor. I think just really focusing, in my approach anyway, wasn't to necessarily waste time, but just to become focused and really effective in what I'm doing and trying to learn, because it is a skill. Like anything, you're gonna suck at first, and you have to know that, like anything. But consistency, more reps, that's gonna equal progress, and that's gonna equal success. So that was my approach, and it really just condensed that time frame when I knew I was going all in and put my head down and showed up to every session. And of course, within Remote Sales Institute, what you and Shani teach just took care of the rest and made it happen even faster.
And you got a role pretty quickly after joining. It was around 8 weeks from memory.
Yeah, 8 weeks. So yeah, happened pretty fast. You jump in initially with, like we were saying before, you're doubting yourself. Am I for this? All of that. And, as you learn throughout those 8 weeks period, I started gaining a lot of confidence and felt ready. But completely different life in 2 months' time. It was, pretty crazy, and still crazy to think back now and, a year in where I was.
Mate, take us through to now. So you're now, talk us through the company you're working with. What is the industry? What do you sell? What's a day-to-day look like? What's happening now? Yeah,
so I work with a business coach, coaching business in the tradie side of things. So it definitely resonates with me, which is one thing. Definitely finding something that you align with is just going to be amazing, and it's going to remove a lot of potential maybe friction. But working with the company, they're an amazing bunch of legends. They all surf like I do, and we all get along, which is great. So a day in the life really looks like I wake up at 5 every day. From being a tradie, that's what I've always done. So love that early start and a bit of routine. We'll go, take the dogs for a walk or go for a surf if there's some waves. Come back and attack the day, see what's going on, and really pump it all out and really align with that. Create some time throughout the day to get outside again, go for a walk or just clear the head a little bit, and then come back home, smash it all out, go to jiu-jitsu in the evening. And then
it's a full schedule.
Time in the evening. It is, yeah. But love it.
And so you've kind of deleted 3 hours of travel out of your daily schedule. You've now filled that with hobbies and walks and surfing and all sorts of stuff. I'm curious though, and I'm sure people are curious listening. What does the day-to-day tasks of an appointment setter? What are you doing when you're working? When you're on calls, or when you're just in your operating mode on a day-to-day basis? What are you doing, and who are you speaking to? What types of people and businesses are you speaking to?
Yeah, for me, it is people who have taken an interest in what you do. So they may come to you searching for help, or they may have shown interest in something that you do. So I will connect and really consult with them and run through a bit of a qualifying process to see if they're a right fit for what we do, because not everybody is. So really just meeting, building some trust, some credibility, and then making sure that they would be a fit for what we do. If they are, would run them through what the next steps would be, which is setting a time and an appointment, hence the name, for the closer, which is the next step in the sales process. Where we'd run through and show them how we can really help, and again, if it's something that they want or need.
And so in your business, you help tradie businesses grow a business. And so the struggle that I think a lot of your clients face is that they're really good at the trade, but they don't know how to build a business. And somehow they're getting more work. Now they've got to hire tradespeople. They've got to build a team. And that's where they get stuck, is when they start to grow the business. And I think the profitability, hiring, managing team, those are the types of problems that your businesses are facing. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure. So the key things is really understanding the systems and processes of a business. Time is probably the biggest one, not being able to manage time and really allocate their job role as a business owner accordingly. And then, hiring as well is a big one at the moment, for sure. So I'd say those are the key three.
And what does the offer do? So you're working with two absolute champions, Joe and Dylan. What is the solution to those business owners? Are they, and we're talking like plumbers, builders, carpenters? Are we just talking the works, just any trades business? Yeah,
so trade and service-based business, it is split between builders and then the more other trade plus services. So really three, I would say it's categorized into. But really understanding where they're at now, some areas that may need attention, and then what's not working to get everything working, and then work towards a goal. So really finding the goal first, reverse engineering that back to where they are today and what needs to be done to see success and then really win, essentially.
And at the front of the coalface of this engine, your business's engine, which is the sales function, where you've got marketing, you've got sales, and then you've got people who become clients, and Joe and Dylan can help them grow their business. You're basically at the front of the charge there, aren't you? Right at the front as the appointment setter. You're calling leads, people who have inquired, people who have downloaded ebooks, they've attended events, and you're making calls, having conversations, qualifying them, and then sort of nurturing them through to where they speak to someone who's a bit more of a senior, a closer, who can close off the deal.
Definitely. So people who are jumping into sales may not know this, but I my term would be a bit of a gatekeeper. So I hold the keys to that next step, and definitely am that first conversation, because a lot of trust, credibility is built in the marketing and where people are seeing Joe and Dylan. And of course, the way that they approach and get a feel for who we are, but that a first proper chat is with myself, and that's where a lot more trust comes, and the questions of who you are, what do you do, and then the credibility joint and grows from there. And then, of course, if it makes sense, we talk about that next step.
Love it. If you look back to life before and life now, how much has life changed, and what are the best parts to have made this change? What are some of the highlights?
Freedom to definitely do what I want a lot more. I think having those releases like we were talking about before, like being able to go for a walk, even just being at home with the family at all times, is just invaluable to me. I think it would be for a lot of people as well, and of course, as you move down the sales journey, which I think is lifelong, that you're only going to grow and continue to be more valuable, more effective, and more skilled, which will create more time for yourself. That's a big thing for me. So being able to live freely, being with Joe and Dylan in a company that I'm fully aligned with, I think is again invaluable, because you believe in what you do, and it just becomes natural, and you can be your true, authentic self. Because that's another thing that leads to trust and credibility, and just the person who I've become over the last year. As we were talking about, I started with no experience, a lot of ums and ahs, no brevity. I'm pretty shy to a degree, and then of course when you talk and learn with more confidence, that your life does snowball in that way, where you are becoming an expert and truly good at what you do, and it really does leach into other areas of your life. So they're probably the biggest wins for me, and really grateful for what it's all done and where I'm at.
Where do you feel that this could take you, say, in the next 5 years, what are your goals?
Great question. So I think really set up myself and my family. I want to do that quite young so I can live a life that I want on my terms, which I think, and I know this is going to allow me to do, and build wealth. That's one thing, finances, and the skill will come with that. But just have as much time to myself and my family as I can. As I start a family, when I get older, you want to be there for your kids at the drop of a hat, and I want to be able to do that, but still feel a lot of progress in what I do in fulfillment, which I know this is going to provide me. And I think it's a win-win scenario for professional and personal life as well.
Yeah, the things that people don't always think about when exploring something like this, it's always money, freedom, time freedom, location freedom at the top of mind. But I think you touched on something really important there, which is who you've become and the personal growth that you've experienced by taking yourself out of your comfort zone, diving into something that you had no experience in, really putting money on the line, putting your career on the line, and in pursuit of something better, in pursuit of your goals. And so becoming who you have become, because I've personally seen that growth and develop myself, and you're a different person. Your confidence is incredible. You communicate so well. The calls that I've heard are, they're A grade compared to where they were when you started. And so much is achievable in such a short period of time. It's only been 12 months. And so, mate, I'm super proud of your success and what you've achieved. And I know it hasn't always been easy. I know that there's been a lot of challenges thrown your way. But, mate, you've always faced them with a smile. And you've never backed down from them.
No, thank you for that. I definitely think it's really in the journey. Like, we've all got goals. We all want to get to a certain place, and we're looking ahead like, I want this, I want that. I want to feel this, I want to feel that. And then you get to that point and you're always like, oh, wow, the journey was really the best part. And I feel that I want to go through that smiling and look back and know that I enjoyed it and it was all part of the process. And honestly, a thing with sales, like, I've got a lot to thank. It's gone sort of hand in hand with jiu-jitsu a little bit for me, where you fail or failure sort of is removed, but you win or you learn. So you're going to get constant reflections and feedback in everything that you do, where you've got to really take that on board to start winning and learning. And then that's just what's going to take you to the moon and really grow and progress, build that skill.
You're unassumingly tall as well. So you're 6 foot. Is it 6'4", 6'5"?
No, 6'2". 6'2".
Oh, 6'2". Okay, so
ones.
It's just me being short. I think that makes you so tall. But what I was thinking is, I'd be worried about having you get me in a figure 4 leg lock or some sort of rear naked choke. So just putting it out there. Let's not have a roll. We'll stay in the sales training, but not off the jiu-jitsu mat.
Of course.
And like, mate, I guess looking at some advice that you'd love to give people, people in your position who have no experience. They're worried, they're fearful, they're scared, they're all of these things, but they're not loving what they're currently doing for work. They're dissatisfied. Life isn't really moving in the direction they want to go. What advice do you have for those people?
No, that's great. I think probably 3 things that would go hand in hand. I'd say you're having that thought and feeling for a reason. I did anyway. I think I felt capped or stuck or something. Really tuning into yourself, removing the noise of other things, because when you start looking at potential pathways of what else you could do, there's endless opportunities. And me personally, I stumbled across sales and it really just stood out as something, and I wanted to learn a lot more. And once I did tune in and find out that it was something that I wanted to pursue, then backing myself was the second biggest thing. I think you make the decision and you go 100%, you're going to see success, you're going to see results, and that fear, you will look back on it and just obviously go, why was I doing that? done that with lots of things and lots of decisions in the past, and things aren't as scary as what they may have seemed at the time. So tuning out that noise and really, once you're stepped into it and walk through that door, putting in the work to be effective, I think is something, and building that skill. Every aspect of your life, it's not just when you're on a call talking to somebody, it's the lead up to that point that, you do the training to have the match, that the work's done in that time. Really setting a routine personally and then professionally, it's going to really take care of itself, and you will see results. So I think back yourself, tune in, and become effective.
Yeah, I think back yourself and then go all in once you've made that decision. But the key is having the confidence to know that whatever comes up, whatever challenges, whatever problems come up and they rise, you've got the skills, or at least you've got the commitment to work it out, and have some support. Have a support network around you to help you solve those problems. And of course, you're going to get there faster.
100%. I think as soon as I jumped in RSI, I was just bombarded with support. So I found a pretty small group straight away where we were just on calls every single day, just really dialing it in and super committed. I think that helped a lot, just to bounce any questions off and just have that direct feedback straight away, like we're saying, and you just keep going, stuff up on those sessions, because it's training, it's a brush off the shoulder. You get up, you go again, you try again, and then of course you just polish yourself over time like anything, and you'll really, really grow. And again, you look back and go, wow, it's come so far.
100%, mate. Well, I want to say thanks for hopping on and sharing your story with us, Bart. It's only just getting started, which is the crazy thing. I'm sure we'll have another chat 6 months, 12 months time, and there'll be a lot more to unpack and a lot more results and wins that you've got to share. So that's the scary thing. You're just getting started.
Yeah, no, I'd be keen to have that conversation. It's been really good just to reflect like this, and it really makes you pretty grateful for what you get to do now, and the life you can create for yourself if you commit.
Appreciate that, mate. We'll lock that one in the calendar 6 months from now. What are the wins that you can share? I'm sure there'll be plenty.
Be a Christmas Day potty at this stage. We'll put our Santa hats on.
Love that. Maybe the pajamas as well.
Yeah, of course. I'll go the elf. Big ears.
Okay, cool. That's a deal. Christmas Day podcast. You heard it here first. All right, team. If you got value from today's interview, don't forget to give us a rating. Don't forget to subscribe for more interviews like this. We do them every week. And if you're serious about mastering the art of remote high-ticket sales, don't forget to check us out, remotesalesinstitute.com. Make an inquiry, book yourself a call. This stuff changes lives. It's a career and an industry that is unparalleled for the freedom, the flexibility, and the income that it can provide. And we help you do that. Thanks again, Dan, and we will see you next week.